Oh, good morning all. It's a lovely Friday morning and I'm about halfway up Garth Hill, and I have a special episode today, and a well-known individual is with me from Builth community, a well-loved individual. I think you all know her very well. So if I just pan round here. Good morning, Mum. How are you?
Well, sorry.
Oh.
Fancy meeting you on Garth Hill. Do
Yes.
you come often?
Yeah.
So,
You're halfway there, Mum. I know you've done it many times before with Dad, you said.
yes.
Yeah.
But I have cheated this time. Alison brought me as far as the crossroads.
We weren't supposed to say that bit. But anyway,
Well,
you said it now anyway.
I got to make a confession.
Yes.
I am walked from the vicarage.
You've been in training for this, haven't you?
Yes, yes.
You had a bit of an injury. You were going to come up in the evenings in June, but then you had a bit of an injury. But you've recovered now, and as you can see, Mum's made it to what I would call the halfway point of Garth Hill, and we thought we'd start our little chat now. So, as you've been seeing, Mum, I've been talking about memories of Builth. I've had sport, I've had the bell ringers, I've had the music input. You've seen all about the park run. So I'm just encouraging local people to come up, well, meet with me and have a chat about memories of Builth. I suppose, well, if you have a little stroll, Mum.
Right. I got me sticks, you see, to help me.
Well, keep your... I remember, right, I just suppose your first memories of moving to Builth in, what was it, 1979?
Yes.
What would you recall of that, Mum?
Well, Dad had been made Vicar of Builth.
Yeah.
Of Llanannis, Maesmynnis, Allmawr and Llanelwycombe.
Right.
So he had 5 churches.
Yes.
And we had come from a 6-bedroom vicarage to a 4-bedroom vicarage. But yes, it was a happy move, and the Bishop had made Dad Rural Life Advisor as well.
I remember that.
To make special links with the diocese, and
Although this is what because Dad always had close contacts when we were in Bigaldi, I remember, with the Royal Welsh Show, didn't he?
yes, yes. Well, then when we came to Builth, he joined the Royal Welsh and became a Life Vice President. And then he was so thrilled that as the years went by, that the show made him their honorary chaplain, which meant the world to him.
Yeah, and it tied up with the role he had with the church as well.
Right.
Very
Yes,
much,
exactly.
as I said, what they say, dovetail, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but when we came to Builth, 1979, we had the most beautiful hospital, 4 wonderful doctors. The hospital was fully staffed. You could have operations there. There was a maternity unit there. There was an outpatients department.
Yeah.
We had a fully staffed police station, a fully staffed fire engine department. What else was there? Oh, a proper post office with sorting office.
Yeah, it's just... It
was wonderful.
There's been massive change now. Of course, we don't have the hospital anymore. We don't have the...
Well, all those essentials have been taken from us.
Yes.
And it's appalling, really. Costs again, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it was a wonderful move. And, of course, when we retired, Dad, well, so did I.
Yeah.
We came back to live in Builth.
Yes, right, because Dad then, became Archdeacon, didn't he?
He was Archdeacon, and he was the longest serving vicar in the church in Wales. He worked for full-time for 42 years.
That means you were there for 42 years as well, in amongst the teaching role. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was a saint to put up with me, with my bossiness.
Well, this is the thing, see, to me, your mum, to the name which you do, which was done out of fondness, Nana Jungle, and to a lot of people, when I'm travelling around and we go to rugby matches, you were still Mrs. John.
Oh.
Now that's a compliment. Now we were talking about that. You were a teacher in
John Beddoes School.
Yes, and I have many of my age group, and Paul, Marks, and Phil saying, "Oh, you're Mrs. John's Yes, and they still call you Mrs. John, Mum, don't they?
Yes, it's surprising. For some reason, I didn't have a nickname. Quite a lot of the staff did. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, your nickname in Built now is Nana Jungle, but that's with another story. We'll come back to that.
Exactly.
But it must be, you must feel, I certainly do, you must feel quite proud, really, Mum, when they come up to say, hello, Mrs. John.
Well, it's wonderful.
Yes.
You see, I just love being a teacher.
Yes.
Which, as you know, Simon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, but before talking of the past,
Yes.
which obviously you can't bring back.
No.
But to look at the future now, Si.
Yes.
I was talking about all the things
in the past
that supported us.
Yeah.
We now have got a most wonderful community support.
Yes.
And without them, when Dad was so ill,
yeah.
I don't know what
Well, I suppose that this is why I've dragged you up here.
Well, this is why you're doing the dullest thing, you're walking up here every
day. But as you say, it's during lockdown, Mum. And don't forget, there is a Just Giving page on my page, Jungle Productions, and you can donate. Your words of encouragement are brilliant. But during lockdown, they took a real hit. They were on their own. They were never on their own because people would care about them. But they were on the front line of supporting our community.
Yes. Well, I'm lucky I've got you and Sinead and, excuse me, Seamus.
Yes.
To help me. But when Dad was really ill,
there
was none. No, I didn't have any family in Built.
Yeah.
And they are the ones who helped me.
Yeah.
Because I had several hospital appointments, which I had to have anaesthetic, so I couldn't drive back. So people drove me to either Hereford or Prince Charles Hospital in Merthyr.
Yeah.
And they found someone who the Dad knew to sit with him.
Yes.
So that meant the world.
Oh yeah, and it comes back to why I'm doing it. So the other thing, Mum, about we've been talking about, obviously you know the three things I'm doing. One for community support.
Yes. Yeah.
Hashtag Jungle John's Garthill Challenge. The other thing is hashtag 365 Just Ask, and that's just about mental health and well-being. And it's always okay to ask and stop and have a chat with someone. You've seen the new talking bench by the River Bridge, the YFC.
Yes, yes.
That is a classic example of promoting that. So, where does that, around mental health and well-being, I know you've got some opinions on that yourself. What's...
Well, I always considered myself as a very strong personality. I faced anything head on. But the lockdown played absolute havoc with my mental health.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I was afraid to go outside the front door. Luckily, I had Asda and they delivered to me. But really, some days, instead of going out for a walk, I would convince myself there was no need to go out. Yeah. I could stay in the house. Yeah. And I had to be really firm with myself and say, now, come on, you've got to do it. But it frightened me.
Yeah, and knowing you and people... knowing you, well, as much as we know you and family know you and friends know you, that probably was the case for everybody, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably.
And
yes,
you saying what you're talking about now.
Yes.
Emphasises on this pilgrimage I'm doing here around raising that awareness, you know.
Yes, and you see, I am so concerned about my grandchildren.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was born before the war.
Yeah.
1939. But I can't say I was ever affected by that. I wasn't frightened by it. But young people now, I am so concerned about. Yeah. You know, the way their education has been disrupted. And this morning on the Welsh News, there was more COVID in schools and staff have been self-isolating. It is a concern for me, these youngsters.
And I suppose then we could just touch on, you know, you're talking a way out of this, as we've got to have faith in the scientists around the vaccine.
Yes. Well, I'm having my third jab.
You just jumped into my question.
Oh, yes.
But you're having your booster?
Yes, the 4th of October.
when I met with Hazel, and you know Hazel Evans very well.
Oh, really?
Care for Dad and
Yeah.
wonderful carer, wonderful professional as well. She was able to talk to me quickly, and she was off for having the booster. So we were in the same year, Mum.
Yes.
So I can imagine that I'm on the list next.
Good for you, Simon.
So I hear what you're saying around the concerns around young people, but our way out, we have to, at this point, trust in the vaccine to get ourselves through this.
Yes, it's fear that conquers us, you see.
Yes.
That is the awful thing.
We have wonderful professionals out there that can talk to us and listen to us, but just to really encourage people to talk to each other, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Talk
yes.
about issues. Don't clamp things up, because it's...
That is what community is about.
Yes.
Sharing our fears.
Yes.
And I meet with two wonderful ex-sisters, old sisters. Oh, I do beg their pardon.
Well, careful.
I can say, wonderful sisters from the hospital.
They are so wonderful. Aren't I? I'm due to do a...
Yes.
Yeah.
And we were chatting on Wednesday and sharing so much. And it helps us, I think, to talk to people. That's the only way you can get rid of the fears that you have.
Yes.
Till you come to realise that they're just fears.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Very, very true. Now, I have to tell you now, Mum, right? I call this a bit of a folly, really. I know you might be thinking we're coming to the top of the hill now. The top you'd be seeing.
Yeah, well, I've been...
You just get to the top. We'll have a bit of a pause.
Yes.
And then we'll, as they say, drive on again.
Right.
But I got to show you. You might be thinking the trig's just at the top there. But I'm sorry to disappoint you, Mum, it's not. But anyway.
Well, the thing is, Si, as I say...
Right. Okay then, Mum, drive on.
Okay.
Okay, Mum, so you can see we're up the top of the ridge where we've just come from, down there.
Yeah.
And as you can see up the top there, nowhere near the trig, but you knew that was coming
Yes.
anyway.
Uh-huh.
So as we have a little stroll, we get to this nice little flat bit here. The other thing I do is the beef up Bilf hashtag. Now I know you've seen the episode with Jarv.
Oh, yes, that was excellent.
Yeah, he's a real character, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. And I mean, what he's done with the park run is incredible.
And what would you think of Dad? And
Oh,
how funny
gosh.
would he find that? He would.
Well,
But he loved to grow, didn't he?
Yes. Well, the thing is, Edwin, besides being a vicar, was a great sportsman. And he loved rugby. And as you know, the vicarage is right by the Grove. And every Saturday, doesn't matter what else was happening.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, for funerals.
Yeah.
He did stop for funerals, but weddings he liked to arrange in the morning.
Yeah.
Anyway, he'd go out to the Grove to support the Bulls. Because he played for them.
Yes, in the 50s he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, as you can see, Mum, Nana Jungle, Mrs. John has arrived at the top. Thank you very much, Mum.
It's been a real delight, Si, and boosted my morale no end. I wasn't going to let I'm the only member of the John family who hasn't done this before, and I wasn't going to let you.
Well, you definitely haven't. So we have a chat about Penavant now? What do you think?
Oh, well, I did that many years ago.
On that happy note, Mum, thank you very much.
Everyone.